If you want average everything, then fire your creative team, because that's what AI will give you, average everything. Hello, I'm Jacquie Ford, AI Innovation Lead at News Corp Australia, and this is Real Talk AI and Creative Ops. So the team at Float wants to know, what does an AI innovation lead do? My role is really to create opportunities for people to learn about what they can do and the art of what's possible, and also to help map different tools or models or combinations of tools to the needs of the business. Prior to my current role, I have a creative operations background, so I've come from creative agencies working in both production and account management roles, and then working in-house at Facebook or Meta for many years within their creative department, trying to optimize workflows, briefing processes between our in-house clients and our creative teams. I mean, it has to always come to what is the problem, the business problem that we're trying to solve, or the customer need that we're trying to respond to. So it might not even be an AI tool. It might just be automation or scaling. But I would say that our existing suite of tools that we love are all introducing new AI features that are building on generative technology. And so we are also trying to understand how we can enhance and optimize our workflows and our practices and our outputs to lean into that. So someone on Reddit asks, I work in production planning and can't help but feel that AI is going to make our jobs redundant. What do you think? I personally think that it's inevitable that some roles will become redundant, but I think also a whole bunch of new roles are going to be created as existing talent expands their skill sets and really starts to lean into this. I think that's going to open up new opportunities, particularly for the real creatives out there who are really passionate about creativity and what it means. We sort of talk about the future looking a little bit like a record label style relationship. So lots of content creators who have built a brand in their own right, or built a presence or a reputation in their own right. And we want to really map and match talent to the specific need of the job. So that sort of record label approach means that you have a much broader scope of talent, not only in terms of skill set, but also in terms of style, taste, suitability, what sort of tools they're using, adaptability, that sort of thing. From the advertising subreddit, hate to say it, but I think AI is going to completely remake creative departments in the next 3 to 5 years. I think that, hate's a strong word, but I do think that there is an opportunity, like all businesses, creative or otherwise, that there will be a massive evolution of how we operate and how we work, how we collaborate, how we think about what we're producing and the partners that we're producing with. And I think there is going to be a fundamental shift in who is creating as well. But at the end of the day, creative always comes down to the most amazing and unique idea and memorable output. I think the only thing that might shift is where that's coming from. I wouldn't say that it will completely change departments necessarily, but I think the way that we get to those ideas might change thanks to AI. I mean, ideas have always come from anywhere, but I think the creative taste and layer of uniqueness and individuality will always come from the most creative people in the room. Someone on LinkedIn says, while the tools get cheaper, faster and smarter, the real question becomes, who are you when AI can do what you do? So I don't know that it can do what we do. I think that we're under-crediting what humans are capable of. I think that I like to see AI as another tool in the toolkit. It's a great starting point. It's a great thought partner. It's a great way to pressure test ideas and thinking, but I don't think it's the end point. I think the magic still comes from the humans wielding the tools. The way that I'm trying to help people think about leveraging AI in the workplace is to think about it as a team member. So you're briefing a team member, and if you want to get a really good output first go, you have to spend time briefing them properly. So being thorough, being thoughtful, providing context and background, giving examples of what you want, giving examples of what you don't want. So I think that all comes down to really clear, concise and active communication. Those that have the ability to be really great communicators will have an easier time understanding how to get the best out of AI tools. The people that I've seen that really gravitate to these tools understand data and understand the data pipeline. And when you have that sort of foundational knowledge of how data works and where you're drawing information from, I think that also helps you understand the best way to communicate with AI tools. It is about experimentation and curiosity and leaning in and having fun. So I guess the other skill, if you want to call it that, is just being curious. A lot of people have forgotten how to just have a bit of fun and play and be curious and say, but what if, and I'm going to push in a little bit further here and, really sort of push the boundaries. And I think that's the other sort of fundamental skill that is beneficial, thinking about how to incorporate AI into your workflows. This is a question from the marketing subreddit. What is the role of creative agencies and teams in an AI world? I feel like the role is still the role that they've always had, which is helping guide brands and clients on amazing marketing campaigns and advertising. The only thing that I think AI is bringing to the party is we're getting there faster. We're able to produce ads in a much more cost-effective way sometimes. And I'd say it's helping to enhance the process more than anything. One thing that we all hear a lot about all the time is we spend so much time in meetings, we don't have enough time to do the doing. One of the things that we've really started to try and put into practice is using tools as a collaboration space. So Notebook LM, for example, is a great way to collaborate, have multiple people uploading documents or questions or notes that they've got, or, research or reference materials. You can sort of go and seek answers to the questions you might have about a project or a brief real time by asking the question directly into the notebook rather than relying on a weekly meeting. I think the other thing is just going and doing due diligence on research and really vetting an idea or an industry or a background using AI to sort of bring you up to speed and fill any gaps that you might have in your background knowledge on a certain subject. So that's a great way to sort of get ahead and feel like you're keeping up to speed before you're going into a meeting. Using tools to help pressure test your thinking, asking it to assume the position of a critic. Where are the holes in my thinking? Where are my biases? Help me understand where I should be doing some further thinking or where there might be some gaps in my strategy. General checks, using it within your calendar day to help organize your day and prioritize your day and set some goals for the day. I think that's a really great hack as well. Whiteboarding, virtual whiteboarding and ideating together. That's not necessarily a new thing and not necessarily something that's exclusive to an AI tool, but there are certain features within these platforms now that help you then take those brainstorming notes and turn them into something pretty amazing without needing to craft a deck, spend hours, pushing pixels around a slide. So from a creative ops perspective, I think if our role is to help enable the creatives to do the best work and to spend more time doing that great creative work and taking the friction out of their day-to-day to getting to that great work, then they're in a really good position to leverage AI to do that. Someone on LinkedIn asks, is replacing your creative team with AI the biggest mistake you can make? And I would say absolutely yes. I think it is the biggest mistake you can make because AI is really all about the middle. So if you want average everything, then fire your creative team because that's what AI will give you, average everything. It is literally what it's doing. Keeping your creative team is paramount if you want your creative to stand out and to have taste and style and really rise above the middle mediocrity that is probably otherwise known as AI slop. This is from LinkedIn. For a creative agency or services team, what are the challenges with AI governance and risk? So this is a really interesting topic and something that we're digging into at the moment. But I'd say that the obvious piece here is around copyright and who owns AI-generated material and who has the right to own it. So I think that's not necessarily something that we've solved definitively yet, but I think that more and more brands are starting to build their own principles around how they want to use AI and their levels of transparency around how they're using AI in their marketing materials or even internally. From a governance perspective, it relies on humans to do the right thing so that those that have contributed to that work are being credited in the right way, so that there's transparency around when we're using AI so that consumers are aware of what is and isn't real. It's a hard one to govern because it relies on honesty. And sometimes either people forget or people aren't even sure anymore. These things go through so many processes that at some point somebody's forgotten how they've used AI and how they've used real content and who's getting paid for what. I mean, this is a really interesting and fertile ground for discussion and debate. From the advertising subreddit, I want to blend conventional and AI production workflows. Give me some tips and what potential things I need to take care of. Again, it all comes down to what are the best tools to tell the story that you're trying to tell. So rather than think about blending AI with conventional workflows, really just think about what is going to get you to the vision that you had in the most logical or practical way. But again, I think it always comes down to use AI outputs as a starting point to then build on, but not necessarily the end point. And that human taste and style and gut feel on what is going to land is probably the sprinkle of flavor on top that you're always going to need. It's that old adage that you want AI to do the laundry and the washing up so that you can spend time doing the art and reading your favorite books, not the other way around. So